Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
But tell me, Eddie, is that a rabbit in your pocket or are you just happy to see me?
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another solo stream, basically down and nerdy, where I hang out with you guys for about an hour or so before taking my dog out and then jumping onto a gaming stream. And I've been thinking about switching up the schedule a little bit since I recently transitioned to Kick as far as my part of my gaming streams, but because I'm planning on seeing Evil Dead Rise tonight, I'm going to go back to basically the original schedule I had, and that is hanging out for about an hour, going through pop culture and cringe, and unfortunately those two go hand in hand nowadays. Taking a little bit of a break to take my dog out, and then jumping onto either Kick or Twitch. In this case, it'll be Kicked today, playing some more Halo. All right, so getting through Halo Combat Evolved, and then after I finish the Combat Evolved, I'll be moving on to Halo 2. So if you follow me on Kick and you notice there's been a bit of a jump in the gameplay, that's because for the past 2 times I've streamed on Twitch. So if you want to check out, basically what I've done so far, go over there and check that out. The videos will be up, I think, for Twitch is about couple weeks or so. But for the most part, yeah. So yes, I got the Halo bug. I see Trey in the chat, but got a few topics to go over. There's been a lot of cringe. I've been avoiding going into anything with Wizards of the Coast primarily because I'm saving a lot of that stuff for next Wednesday, because next Wednesday will be Cringe Factory that I do with Steve Kenobi, and we're going to be dedicating that entire live stream to all the shit that Wizards of the Coast, in particular with D&D and a little bit of Magic Gathering, has done, all right, in the past, because this is nothing new. The shit that they are doing now is really, it's like no surprise whatsoever to anyone who's really been following the company for the past, pretty much a couple decades at least, roughly. But anyway, so I'll be going into that. As well as like one of the most recent examples of shit that they have pulled, pretty much. All right, and that is basically sending Pinkerton thugs, to raid a man's house. Why? Because he accidentally received cards for Magic the Gathering that aren't supposed to be released until about late May or so. Really no fault of his own. Whatsoever. And rather than call him or email him or whatever, maybe have him sign a non-disclosure agreement because of that mistake, just to make absolutely sure that nothing gets out, leaks at all about what is in those cards. No, they send Pinkerton thugs to raid his home and upset his wife and make his children cry. All right, so yeah, that is like one of the most recent spates of shit that Wizards of the Coast has done. But like I said, we'll still be we'll be going into that. We'll be going into that pretty much like next Wednesday. And yes, Americus, I see your question. The Pinkertons still do in fact exist, but they are no longer really a detective agency that they were originally formed as, but really they're pretty much hired thugs at this point. But anyway, so the articles I have up. All right, I have a Bounding into Comics article. I'm not going to play the trailer. I figured by now we've pretty much all seen the recent Transformers Rise of the Beast trailer. It is underwhelming at best, in my opinion. But I found this article on Bounding into Comics. Transformer Rise of the Beast producer says the film's cultural society is making life hard on the human characters. And to be perfectly honest, do we all really give a shit that much about the human characters? Does anybody watch a Transformers, whether it's the original cartoon series, the Beast Wars series, any of the animated films and so forth, or any of the previous live action films, for the human characters? Does anybody really genuinely give a shit about the human characters that much? Me? No. All right, and I see Trey's comment. I'll be getting to that. It's the same with the Godzilla movies. You don't watch those because you like it's all about the human interaction. No, you watch them because you want to see 2 huge kaiju creatures, namely Godzilla and whatever creature he's fighting, duke it out, pretty much, and basically the destruction of Tokyo as a result of that. That's really what you watch these movies for. All right, or any of the previously animated shows. I grew up watching both Transformers, but my preference, my own subjective personal preference, is I was always more into Beast Wars. Hence Dinobot, all right? I was more into Beast Wars because as a kid I was also interested in dinosaurs. So kind of like blending of the two in that regard. But I'm pretty much a tomboy at heart. But anyway, I got that article to go into. Then an article that Gravy D shared, and I might save your article to send to Steph to possibly talk nerdy to us about Hugh Grant as an Oompa Loompa. All right, make of that what you will. But Gravy sent an article and from Kotaku, Brigitte shows Overwatch 2 still doesn't fully get body diversity. I think the fact there are still people who play Overwatch is probably the biggest fucking cringe of them all, but there it is. There it is, basically. In Kotaku, Brigitte shows Overwatch 2 still doesn't fully get body diversity. Yes, a video game doesn't quite get body diversity, even though no one cares. And I have this new clip for articles such as this that I just added before the stream.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
Who the hell cares? No one's saying cares. All right, but there is that article that I'll be going into, and then I'm saving the gamer article for last. And this is news that was covered by Lethal, Moz, and I believe Cowman was on the stream, as well as Wicked Virtue. I'm not sure, if she was there for. I think she was there for this, but the Red Cross is asking players to stop committing war crimes in games, and this, as a military vet and a gamer, all right, this insults me on two fronts. All right, the fact that they are even equating actions in gaming to war crimes. As a military vet who has been to 2 fucking war zones, this is insulting to the nth degree. All right? And I'm also a gamer, pretty much. All right? Shit that I do in Call of Duty is not at all reflective on what I would actually do in the fucking real world. But there it is. So let me say hello to the chat. So from the top, I see Trey. What's up? Says, you're ready for the cringe. Well, hopefully you don't lose your sanity. Gravy D, hello, good to see you. And yes, I am 5 away from 100 followers on Kick. So if you've not followed me over there, it is quickly becoming a competitor to Twitch. If Kick gets its complete act together, I believe it could surpass Twitch as far as streaming platforms for gaming. So that is my personal opinion. Jaluk says, hey, Mara, and chat will probably lurk. Just got banging headache. No worries, Jaluk. It's like, even if you don't worry about lurking, get over your headache, and you can always watch the replay, because that's what's important. Gaming or what? Hello, good to see you. Making sure I say hello to everyone. Yeah, the Pinkertons still exist. Yeah, but they're pretty much thugs, like I said, at this point. They're really not the detective agency that they were originally created as. But you tune in to Grinch Factory next Wednesday. You'll get the basic perspective on what Pinkertons has pretty much become. So, like, oh no, a month early, a leak, not even though there's been shit that's been leaked a year in advance. All right, and the guy even said, it's like he didn't think anything of it. He didn't seem like the type that would have leaked anything. He said there was a mistake because the names on what he ordered versus what he got were very similar. So it was a mistake on his local comic stores part where they basically saw it. They really weren't, the person who they sent it to him pretty much wasn't really, I guess, a big Magic the Gathering fan, so they assumed it was the same thing. Sent it to him by mistake. All Wizards of the Coast had to do was say, hey, dude, please don't link this. It comes out in a month. All right? Whatever. Just all they had to do. And if they wanted to be safe, have him sign an NDA. That's fucking it. But no, they had to send thugs to his house and basically upset his family. But that's Wizards of the Coast for you. There it is. Mr. Bentham, hello, good to see you. Yeah, it's a movie about robots. Yeah, pretty much. It's a movie about robots. 6-year-old me never cared about Spike when watching the original cartoon. Yeah, I'm saying, you don't really fucking care about the human characters. I mean, I'm not saying that you don't exactly connect with the human characters, because you're supposed to, that's the relatability factor to it. But at the same time, it's like you're watching this to see Optimus Prime. All right, Megatron. Okay, all the litany of other. All right, Autobots and Decepticons and the Predacons and so forth. Like, you're watching these for those, not the human characters. Why didn't they go with the live action Beast Wars movie? Well, that's the $1 million question, Dark Winter. It's a $1 million question. $1 million question. King of the Squibs. Hello, good to see you. Is this about RC and then forgetting trans is irrelevant to Cybertronian? Not really. No, I mean I kind of skimmed the article, but it's still pretty fucking stupid, and it's really nothing new coming from those connected with this film. So yeah. Oh yeah, right. Yeah, remember that whole it's like them equating to teabagging an enemy in a game as akin to an actual sexual assault in real life. Yeah, remember that shit that went down? Hey, Sparrowhead Face, good to see you. Thank you. They've pretty much descended. They've already hit rock bottom, and now they're figuring out a way to dig the hole even further to end up basically in China at this point. So there is that. Hello, Skirmitar. Good to see you. But anyway, but thank you all for hanging out with me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into the Bounty in the Comics article first on the Transformers Rise of the Beasts film and kind of move from left to right, essentially. So for those who just joined in, the topics for this stream, Bounty in the Comics article says that the Transformers Rise of the Beast producer says the film's cultural society is making life hard on the human characters, even though we really don't give a shit about the humans. Then an article shared to me by Gravy D, and I'm fully throwing you under the bus, Gravy, if you're still here. Brigitte shows Overwatch 2 still doesn't fully get body diversity. Yes, in a video game where I say it's still cringe that people still play it, but regardless, the fact that people don't really want to fucking see actual those who scream about representation really don't actually want to see representation in these games. It's just virtue signaling, pretty much. Like, who wants to see a land whale in a video game? All right, unless you're one of those freaks into that shit, who really wants to see it? No one. And then I'm saving this for last because it's incredibly insulting to me on two fronts at least. The Red Cross is asking players to stop committing war crimes in games. All right? War crimes in games. I've been to 2 war zones, all right? I'm a gamer. This is just doubly insulting to me. But anyway, let's just go right into the Bounding in the Comics article first. Oh, and for those who are just joining, I included another clip that I feel is going to get a lot of use moving forward, considering the shit that we see in pop culture nowadays.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
Pretty much. But anyway. Sorry. All right, here it is. Let me just zoom in. All right. So, Transformers Rise of the Beast producer says the film's cultural society is making life hard on the human characters. Yeah, I know. Vice is... Are they even still relevant? But anyway. I'll just watch, just watch. I'm saying, if you're talking about the people associated with the film, chances are very likely, yes, they are actually unfamiliar with the Beast Wars series because they're portraying their utter ignorance when they talk about shit like this. But there it is. I'm not going to play it. I've seen it. It is bad. It is bad in my opinion. And I'm just waiting for them to pull out the playbook and accuse us of either racism or sexism if this movie bombs in the theater. Because I'm not planning on seeing it in the theaters. I'm really not planning on seeing it in the theaters. If I watch it at all, I'm sailing the high seas for this shit. So yeah. So Transformers Rise of the Beast producer Lorenzo de Bonaventura made it abundantly clear the film will be pushing a cultural and social change message through its human storyline that Paramount Pictures has done an excellent job of hiding in its most recent trailer and the teaser trailer before that. Well, while they've tried to do a job of hiding it, pretty much the director and one of the main stars, even before the teaser trailer dropped, or at least around the time the teaser trailer dropped, opened their big fucking mouths. So we knew about this. We've known about this shit really since the teaser trailer. So this is nothing new. Nothing fucking new. But the fact is that Paramount's trying to hide it. Maybe they should tell people associated with the film to shut their fucking pie holes. All right? In a recent interview with Collider, that's another entity that, how is it still relevant? The producer was asked how this movie, which is set in the 1990s, compares in terms of its tone to previous films and whether or not it's unique, which, setting it in the 1990s, really doesn't make any fucking sense to include the the Beast Wars element to it. And the fact that you have Optimus Primal, who's the fucking size of a mechanical King Kong, is going to fucking stand out. Right? Robots in disguise. Really big fucking clue in how you should have handled it. Right? The Beast Wars are smaller than their Autobot counterparts. They're when I say between those, they're smaller than their Autobot counterparts. All right, because they are actually blending in. All right, Beast Wars. It should be closer to the size of animals. All right, to blend in. When you see a huge fucking cheetah, the size of a fucking truck, running alongside that truck, it's going to fucking stand out. And it's certainly going to stand out even in the 1990s. Yes, before the advent of really social media and smartphones, it's going to fucking stand out. Anyway. As part of his answer, he said, our first objective was to figure out how we hold on to the emotionality of the experience for the humans that are going through it. No, your first objective was to actually put together a decent Beast Wars film. That's your first fucking objective there. Is actually to be true to and show respect for the actual source material. That's your first fucking objective, is to put together an actual decent movie that people would want to see. That's your first objective. We don't fucking care about the emotionality of the experience for the humans. We don't give a shit. We really do not give a fucking shit. And our decision was to give them character arcs that are more significant than we've done before. Yes, because again, that's the reason why people go to see a movie with huge fucking robots fighting. You have the war for Cybertron. Alright? We have that. Showing that it can be done, really, without much of any human element whatsoever. It can be done. He continued, it's hard to say that about Shia LaBeouf in the first movie. Again, we didn't care. We really did not care because he should not have been the focus. You know, he goes from being a young man essentially to a man, right? Were we watching the same movie? In this case, Anthony Ramos and Dominique Fishback's characters are both characters who are trying to find their way in a life and in a cultural society that's not making it the easiest for them. Again, they're getting ready to dust off the playbook of, if you don't see this movie, you're either racist or sexist or both. And so the experience of the movie for those characters is to come to terms not exactly about who they are, but how to move forward in their lives. It's an interesting character arc for both of them where they fulfill to a certain extent the desire that they were having for themselves, he elaborated. I cannot stress this. I cannot stress this enough.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
The film's director, Stephen Caple Jr., previously hinted at this in an interview with Bet when he was asked about what it means to be a black director helming a major blockbuster franchise. That should make no fucking difference. It really doesn't make any fucking difference to anyone with at least a semblance of intelligence and insanity in the society. But of course, they make it an issue because, you know, they have to virtue signal. They have to focus on the the narrative. First, he said, you came straight out the gate with that one. It's been an emotional ride. It's been 2 years now. Anthony Ramos and I talk about having this type of opportunity, but also understanding it's our time. For us to be in this position where we can tell a story about our culture, you're making a movie about huge fucking robots who are fighting. How is that your culture? Our people and see ourselves portrayed on the big screen blending in with these vast genres, especially, he continued. Yeah, because no one else has seen anyone from your fucking culture in any movies before, right? That is so bad. Anyway. He went on, there are not too many people on the actor or director side to be in this position on this scale and scope, and we're doing our best to carry this weight. They always have to be a fucking first, don't they? No matter how many times Anthony and I look at each other on set, tired and all, we realize we're able to do something special and for a reason, he added. We created something special and it feels great to be in this position. Super honored and blessed. Like I said, we've known about this shit because of that. Alright. When specifically asked about why he chose Juicy for the first teaser trailer, Capel said, the movie takes place in the 90s when the album Ready or Die was released. So that's why Juicy was the perfect record to choose. His voice and what he meant in that era and time captures much of what we're doing in the film. Again, we do not care. Actually, the music choice for most trailers nowadays is fucking horrendous. What? Stop picking rap! Fishback, who originally is from Brooklyn, that says everything. Her character and Ramos' character have a lot of big dreams and hit glass ceilings, but ultimately become the heroes saving the world discreetly, as that's how the Transformer laws are, he detailed. I need a drink, and it's not even 12:30. He added, you have these average folks transforming into something huge. Oh, look. Oh, he said the thing. He said the thing! Into something huge and special we didn't know existed, so the record was a right move. It was our anthem on set, so we played Biggie or Anthony was singing The Temptations. Again, don't care. Anyway, there it is. You know, it's like, it's just... For those in the chat, and I'll be catching up to that because, you know, I wanted to pause and go through the article. Is anybody actually looking forward to this? All right. Hey, Brightest Day. Where are you? Hello. Is anybody really looking forward to this movie? I mean, maybe initially before the news came out, maybe there would have been at least some optimism for this movie, but is anybody? Why don't they just have humanity send a ship a la Planet of the Apes, except they arrive on Earth, they'll just pass and meet the... Oh, God. Yeah, pretty much, yeah. They can't even keep their own canon straight, so, like, you that surprised, Americus? You that surprised? Yeah, boring human shit. I don't know about streaming. I did find it on a site that I used to sail the high seas. I think they pretty much have every episode on there. Like, you can find them. And I'm confident by now that you most likely can find them on Blu-ray. But, yeah. Pretty much. I don't know why they're doing this. Yeah, black people have directed. Yeah, I mean, Antoine Fuqua. Right off the fucking bat. This guy's not like the nothing new. They're always breaking that glass ceiling. Yeah, I didn't even bother saying. I think the only one I saw was like the first. I saw the first one. I saw the second one. Didn't bother seeing the third one. I think the only other one I saw at that point, or at least saw chunks of, was the first one with Mark Wahlberg, whichever one that was. Did not impress me at all. But there it is. Yeah, I know it's on YouTube, but I know that, like, you know, what I use to stream sail the high seas for, they're there. They're all there. I fucking figured, yeah. Like, after the second one, I was like, nope. You know how bad it is? You know, like, it's getting bad when people are watching this trailer and asking for Michael Bay back. That's all. You know, it's bad when people want Michael Bay back. So Age of Extinction was the first Wahlberg one. I knew that, you know, whichever one that was, I saw chunks of. I honestly can't even remember if I saw the whole thing. That's how much of an impression it made on me. But I do know I watched a little bit of it because Wahlberg's, like, his character's daughter was dating a guy that Wahlberg didn't like because of, like, whatever shit. It's basically, like, I don't know. It just did not at all impress me, what I saw. People were at, like, can we get Michael Bay back? That's where we are. That's where we are. People are asking for Michael Bay. Hey, Untamed Mando. Thank you. Yeah, first one was enough for you. Hey, Charlie. I gave the second one a chance, but yeah. After the second one, I was like, I'm out. I am out. They obviously do not know what they're doing. I think, like, someone in either a review or, like, someone I was talking to said, like, basically equated it to, I'm talking about the Michael Bay Transformers. It's just like just going out into your backyard and have someone tossing a bunch of, like, lawnmower parts at you with explosions. That's pretty much sums up the movies. That pretty much sums up the movies. Hey, Lindsay, good to see you. But anyway, all right. So we were, again, you gotta laugh when we're out of state. When we're out of state, and lens flare, yes, when we're out of stage, when people were wanting Michael Bay back, that's how low these Transformers movies have sunk. I watch this trailer and I'm like, those aren't the Maximals, all right? Those aren't the Maximals, and there's no Decepticons in this movie. It's just Predacons and Terracons, which I don't really have an issue with that. But no Decepticons? Really? Really? You're going to include Autobots and no Decepticons? All right. Anyway. So, pew, pew, pew. Shock death. Yeah, pretty much that's all they are. So basically, like, you know, how they handled it in Ryan Reynolds' Green Lantern sort of a situation. That's how they're handling him. Yeah, how they're handling Galactus, like that, pretty much. All right. Yeah, gonna go over so fucking well. Anyway. Okay, let's close that. Okay. I don't know how many of you either play Overwatch 2 or have played Overwatch. Okay, I have not touched any of those games. I have really no inclination to touch those games. But I still had to talk about this because this is some of the most stupid shit I've ever fucking seen. And granted, it's Kotaku, so it really shouldn't be any fucking surprise. But here it is, folks. Brigitte shows Overwatch 2 still doesn't fully get body diversity. Because that's why we play games. Yes, according to Kotaku, we want to see body diversity. Yeah. I have not read this, so I'm not sure how much cringe is in this, how much is going to drive any of you to drink. But just the headline itself. Again, Mando, like, since you're just joining, and Lindsay, I'm going to get a lot of traction with this new clip I added.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
Yep. There it is. We'll get the rum later. Yeah, pretty much. All right, let's just dive right into this. Overwatch's Brigitte, a plucky, tanky support character first introduced to the hero shooter in 2018, has always stood apart from her counterparts on the game's roster. Let me just zoom in a little bit for you guys. In comparison to both the other support characters and many other female characters in the first-person shooter, she's got more hit points and a more average body build than Blizzard's signature style for women. Slender with a back curve so severe they need a chiropractor on speed dial. Wait, is that a way of saying they have huge asses? Like, kind of a junk in the trunk? Is that their way of saying that? That they have a back curve so severe they need a chiropractor on speed dial? Is that what they're talking about? I'm just, what? What? Brigitte being in Overwatch is a welcome reprieve from the litany of characters based off that slim design. Oh, the inhumanity. However, the game sadly underscores this difference with troubling voice lines that not only highlight Brigitte's love of food, so she's like Sasha from Attack on Titan, but also try to paint her as having an undisciplined and unruly relationship with stuffing her face. Sasha from Attack on Titan. It's yet another example of a female video game character, and I love Sasha, by the way. I love her, by the way. I'm not saying that to disparage that character. I love her character, but I'm saying, like, literally, that is Sasha from Attack on Titan in a fucking nutshell. It's yet another example of a female video game character who could fall outside of traditional desirability standards, being portrayed as embarrassing, shameful, or ridiculous. I have a question to this author, so-called author, this Matthew Rodriguez. How many obese octogenarians do you see walking around nowadays? How many obese septuagenarians, sexagenarians do you see? And for those of you who do not know what those words mean, how many obese people in their 60s, 70s, or 80s do you see walking around? All right? Spoiler alert, the answer is fucking no, because of the high mortality rates when you put that much stress on your body. No one should aspire to look like that, and no one fucking cares at all if she at all stuffs her face and still looks like that, alright? No one fucking cares because she's a video game character. She's not supposed to reflect anything at all to do with real life. This is why I only do Cringe Factory once a month now, because like I do this, and this is more than fucking enough for me right now. Really? And exactly, Mando. If you're athletic, you usually aren't overweight. Yes. So it is entirely believable that she could be stuffing her face, but because she's athletic and she's burning more calories than she's taking in, she's going to not be a fat ass. But again, it's a fucking video game. While players are waiting for a match to begin, characters often speak to one another, and their interactive voice lines populate based on which characters are queued for the match. In one interaction between Brigitte and fellow healer Mercy, Mercy suspects Brigitte has stolen this last slice of pie. I was saving it for later, Mercy says, admonishing her colleague. It wasn't me this time, Brigitte replies. As with many voice lines, the interaction is supposed to read as humorous. Well, yeah. But it does paint Brigitte, despite the rigor and discipline she brings to her role as a smith and a soldier, and unable to control herself around food. Again, has this asshole watched Attack on Titan? In an interaction with scientist May, who is also thicker than the average female Overwatch character, May asks Brigitte if she wants to go to the gym after their mission, to which Brigitte replies, "No way, today's my cheat day. I'm going to eat a whole apple pie and sleep." May responds, "Cheat day? Is that allowed?" I bet you're fucking fun at parties, Matt. In a now defunct voice line, Brigitte tells fellow Overwatch child Farah, I have no idea, that she'll hit the weights with her if they can get something to eat after. Again, reality 101. If you burn more calories than you take in, then you are going to not be a fat ass. And their body diversity problem. Blizzard has long faced ire for its design of female characters. From whom? Almost a decade ago, a Blizzard executive responded to criticism that it created over-sexualized female. If you're over-sexualizing any character, whether it be anime or video game or anything like that, that is a you problem. That is a fucking you problem. All right. Especially in its Heroes of the Storm franchise, by saying we're not running for president, we're not sending a message. No one should look to our game for that. Fucking exactly. Again, if you are the one sexualizing fictional characters, that is on you. All right? And while Brigitte is not over-sexualized in her... Then why the fuck are you focusing on her? In her presentation, her stereotyping goes in the other direction, suggesting that female characters who are not super slender instead have a troubling relationship with food. Again, you seem so fucking fun at parties, Matt. It's called humor. Look it up. Brigitte's body type exists somewhere in the middle of the Overwatch women spectrum and is... Okay, they're a spectrum now, and is different from many of the other sex-forward designs Blizzard has embraced in games like Diablo series. So instead of being, I don't know, happy that they're at least not over-sexualizing her or something like that, it's like, there's no pleasing these people. She's not as slender as Mercy, Tracer, or Widowmaker, but not as buff or tall as Zarya and Junker Queen, the two women in the tank category. Okay, there it is right there. That's the reason why, is because she's not in the tank category. Tanks are big, hence the fucking name. Though her introduction cinematic shows her as muscular and thick-thighed, you know, these are the same fucking people who were defending the character Abby in Last of Us Part 2 as believable, and yet, they have a problem with Brigitte. Many fans noticed early on that her in-game rendering looked noticeably different, with some pointing out that she had been made thinner in gameplay. Who the fuck cares? Brigitte's body type is emphasized even further by the problem of her impossibly tiny waist. It's a video game. Barbie is a prime fucking example on shit like this, impossibly tiny waists. People who took Barbie's proportions and like, if a real woman had those proportions, she would have no fucking ribs. Alright? Again, it's not reflective at all of reality. Which itself indicates that there was some ambivalence as to how to render Brigitte's physique, and it's the tank hybrid she is meant to be, while also giving her Blizzard signature cinched torso. Yes, there are other larger female characters in the game, then fucking play those. However, they come in with their own fraughtness. Zarya, the Russian soldier, is certainly larger than a lot of the other women, but that's due to her bodybuilding background. What? So Brigitte can't have a tiny waist and still be a bodybuilder? Or lift weights? Is that how it works? Zarya's voice lines are often emphasize her physique and show her offering weight training tips or generally poking fun at the puniness, so she's the Arnold Schwarzenegger of the group, of the rest of the roster, regardless of gender. And while Mei is depicted with a larger body type, there it is, she's on there, in the original Overwatch as Stacey Henley, oh fucking hell, of the gamer points out, she has also been noticeably slimmed down in the sequel. Again, who the hell cares? With a look that is more determined to show off her small waist and a slimmer face with a cute cheeks replaced by a sharper, more shapely visage. Interesting to note, one of the original Overwatch character designs was a fat female character named Mama Hung. Many people still want to see her come to the game, though she's never been suggested as a potential hero outside of concept art. Okay, I'm not going to go into this entire article. This is bullshit after bullshit after fucking bullshit. Really? It's not even 1 p.m. here and I need a fucking drink. World's Strongest Man. No, it hasn't. Projecting their vices on these characters instead of remembering this is a game and not some idiotic agenda has nothing to do with that game. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, Spectrum. Apparently, yeah. Riley seems very catty, like his episode of Sex and the City was interrupted. Pretty much. Pretty much. Yeah. I mean, nowadays, kind of like, I can't do that. But, yeah. Normalizing a very unhealthy lifestyle is never a good idea. See, the thing is, like, again, like I said, it's like, I'm not at all saying that at all, glorifying an unhealthy lifestyle. But like the fact that that character balances it with weightlifting, even though it's a video game character, again, when you burn more calories than you take in, all right, even if you are stuffing your face, you are not going to gain a lot of weight. You won't, all right, because you're able to balance, all right, an active lifestyle with eating what you like. Now, my basically health advice, my like diet advice for what you call it, is I like basically go with moderation pretty much. I do not deny myself anything, but at the same time I don't overindulge, right? For example, sugar can be very, very akin to drugs in a way, pretty much. Like if you at all completely cut sugar out of your life and then you think that I've been good for like how many months, like weeks or months at a time, I should be fine eating this. It's pretty much like reintroducing a drug to your body. All right. And then you pretty much fall off the wagon. Okay. So I don't deny myself. But I don't overindulge. That's my health philosophy, right? I burn more calories than I take in, but I don't deny myself. And guess fucking what? I lost a whole pant size. Okay? I lost a whole pant size. I actually had to go out and buy new jeans within the past several months. Right? So this character, in a way, is completely believable. And don't sit here, Matthew Rodriguez, and claim that a character like Abby in a post-apocalyptic world could be that fucking muscular and still have a problem with this character. Do not try it with me. Do not fucking try it with me. Alright? Because I and others are proof positive that a lifestyle like this is actually possible. But the fact that it's in a video game, alright, that's the key words there. Video game means it's not supposed to be reflective of reality, and people are supposed to just play this character and have fucking fun, alright? That's it. You're shooting, it's a battle royale game where you shoot other players. Alright? That's it. That's fucking it. I used to be a fatty. I lost over 100 pounds going the old-fashioned way of watching how much I eat and exercise. Yeah, moderation is key. That is the key. All right, not break your neck with any fad diets or anything. Just watching what you eat. All right, not denying yourself, but not overindulging. Yeah, and Nabby's even more fucking ridiculous because we were like, oh, it's very believable because all she had to do is follow this regime, completely ignoring the fact that they are in a post-apocalyptic world where it's like, how is she going to get all this shit to be able to maintain that fucking physique? There it is. But anyway, again, all right. I know I sound very judgmental when I say this because I roll my eyes at people who play this game, but at the same time, it's like I'm not going to tell people what they can or cannot play. All right, and if you play this and enjoy it, fine. All right, but that's it. It's a video game for enjoyment. It's a battle royale where you just want to level, like basically defeat the enemy team. Pretty much defeat the enemy team, and if you have the battle pass, earn shit. That's it. That's it. Well, guess what, Trey? And we got the article that Lethal covered, all right? Well, here it is. Here it is, Dark Winter. Yeah. Speaking of the Red Cross. This is the article. This is the shit that really, really fucking insulted me. And I've covered a lot of shit from the gamer. That is just insulted my intelligence. But this insults me on two fronts as both a military vet and a fucking gamer. And here it is. Here it fucking is, chat. The Red Cross is asking players to stop committing war crimes in games. I have been to 2 war zones, all right? I'm a military vet. I've stared into the eyes of a man, right? This man was, if you want to talk looking into the eyes of the devil, that was this man who actually orchestrated genuine war crimes while in Afghanistan. All right? Acts committed in fucking video games that are not war crimes. So this fucking insults me on multiple levels. But I'm not really surprised. I'm genuinely not surprised because the Red Cross has become so politicized over the years that this really does not shock me. It insults me, but it does not shock me. Well, watch this, Dark Winter. Headline alone, like, what the fuck? Yeah, pretty much. Pretty fucking much. And yes, the Gravy the Gamer is a shit rag. But here it is. So streamers are showing gamers how they can follow the rules of war. First off, here's a little bit of a lesson. Military lesson for you, alright? Okay. We don't refer to it as the rules of war, really, nowadays. We call it rules of engagement. Okay? Rules of war sounds a lot more cooler, but we refer to it as rules of engagement, okay? Pretty much dictating our behavior on the battlefield. For example, that we do not at all, right, target civilians. They are off limits, right? Incredibly off limits because they are not enemy combatants, right? So we go out of our way to not target civilians. And our enemies, namely terrorists, know this shit because they also know that we will not target mosques, schools, hospitals, so forth. So what do? They hide either near or in said mosques, hospitals, or schools, arsenals, weapons, and so forth, knowing that we will not target them. All right, so our enemy pretty much knows our rules of engagement, so they will exploit that shit to the nth degree. All right? Second little lesson about, let's put it this way, civilians, all right? They are not enemy combatants. But if said civilian, man or woman, or even child, unfortunately, but if said civilian picks up a weapon and points it at us, they are now an enemy combatant and are now, basically, in so many words, fair game in terms of rules of engagement. Because again, they are now an enemy combatant. Anyone who's watched Black Hawk Down, I know anybody in the chat seen Black Hawk Down. I think most of you have seen that movie. All right, most of you have seen that movie. Do you remember the scene? Do you remember the scene where one of our guys, okay, he's aiming down his sights. He's aiming down his sights. He's watching the civilians charge at him, all right? And he's watching this woman. He's watching this woman going, "Don't you do it. Don't you do it. Don't you do it." He's saying that. He's saying that. You hear him clearly saying that because he's not wanting her to pick up a weapon because, again, all right, she is a protected class. He's not going to fire on her. She's a civilian. But as soon as she picked up that weapon, she was an enemy combatant, and he took her down. That's how rules of engagement work. Yeah, so we do not target civilians unless they pick up a weapon. That's when they become enemy combatants, but we do not target civilians because we go out of our way to not commit war crimes. And the fact that you're telling gamers to stop doing it in game as if it's all reflective on the actual reality of war is just mind-bogglingly insulting. If you shoot civilians, yeah. Hell, even in the recent COD game, pretty much, you had to avoid shooting civilians. You went out of your way to do that, again, unless they picked up a weapon, but you avoided doing that. And if you did it, you kind of failed a little bit. Even Hitman discourages that. But anyway, let's just go into this. A lot of popular video games are rooted in players picking up controllers and fighting in virtual wars. End of story. That's the key word. Virtual. Not at all reflective of reality. Fucking Call of Duty, alright? No one's running around dressed like Ghost in actual war. No one is running around like that. Not only does that describe every single Call of Duty game ever made, but its Battle Royale spin-off is quite literally called Warzone. Again.
Oh my God, who the hell cares?
With that in mind, you might think playing games like that without committing war crimes is impossible. If you're going out of your way to not do the shit that you're supposed to do in these games, alright, stop playing them. Just admit you're a pacifist at that point. Stop playing them. However, streamers have been working with the International Committee of the Red Cross to prove it could and should be done. No. Just because it can does not mean it should. Every day, people play games, set in conflict zones right from their couch. Okay, here's another thing that you guys also would find very fucking interesting. Alright. See you, Gravy. Here's another thing that you guys will find interesting about the military, alright? Do you know what the military, namely the Air Force, looks for? It's not exactly critical, but looks for when recruiting those for the UAV programs. Do you know what they look for? Can you all guess what a big fucking plus would be for the UAVs? Gamers. A big fucking plus is if you're a gamer. Why? Because that tells the military, namely the Air Force, that you have good hand-eye coordination. It's not, absolutely necessary, but you say that at all to a recruiter or anything that's like, that tells them right there, you have good hand-eye coordination. That tells them right there. So, if you're a gamer, that's a big plus. That is a big plus. And yet this fucker has the audacity to, at all, disparage gamers in this sense. And as well as to trivialize war, like actual war crimes by calling these war crimes in video games. Well, drones are UAVs. So essentially drones are part of the UAV program, basically. But it tells them that your hand-eye coordination is peak, because you need that to play certain games. Even then, not really. There are those that are close or closer than others, but really not. Again, but they're games. They're not at all supposed to be reflective of actual history, reality, or anything like that. It's for purely entertainment purposes. Like, I don't want to play a game and remember the shit that I had to experience when I was in Afghanistan or Iraq. I really don't want to have to go through that again. Once was enough, pretty much. I don't want to have to relive that. So, if I play Call of Duty, alright, I don't want to be reminded of that shit. And not at all, if I kill the enemy team, that does not at all mean that I will do that shit in real life. Every day people play games set in conflict zones, right? Yeah, basically, right? But right now, armed conflicts are more prevalent than ever, alright? To the people suffering from their effects, this conflict is not a game. Alright, first off, people suffering from their effects, that's PTSD, alright? That's PTSD, alright? And chances are they will not play games that will trigger their PTSD, alright? Does not mean the game itself is bad. Does not mean that the shit that people do in this game is necessarily bad. It just means that there's something in there that will trigger the mental effects that people with PTSD are going through, and as such, most likely, they will not play those games at fucking all because of that fact. Full fucking circle. Jesus fucking Christ. It destroys lives and leaves communities devastated. Really? What communities have been left devastated because someone fucking teabagged the enemy in Call of Duty? We're challenging you to play FPS by the real rules of war, rules of engagement, you fucking assholes, to show everyone that even wars have rules. No fucking shit! But Real life rules of engagement at all does not pertain at any relevance or importance whatsoever to actual games. At this point, you may well be asking what exactly the rules of war are. No, because if you're a gamer, you don't fucking care. Alright? If you're a military vet, yeah, you kind of do, but I would say you do, alright? But gamer, no. I don't fucking expect anyone to care who's a gamer what the rules of engagement are. I really don't fucking care, okay? Hell, when I played Call of Duty Vanguard and I fucking took out a camper, I teabagged the shit out of the other player. Alright? So to this person, I was committing not only a war crime, but a sexual assault. And if it's really that hard to abide by them in games like Player Battlegrounds and Fortnite, first off, if you kill someone in Fortnite, if you kill an enemy player in Fortnite, their body disappears. What are you going to fucking do? And it's a battle royale game. The key words there, battle royale, meaning that you want to be the last team standing, and to be the fucking last team standing or the last person standing, you want to take out everyone else. There are 4 rules streamers have been trying to follow. If you're following these rules and you're a streamer, then just, all right, and you're, let's put it this way, and you're a male, for example, just say, hi, my name is so-and-so, and I'm a eunuch. Don't shoot downed or unresponsive enemies. Right? They would shudder to see some of the training that I've been through, where I've been told to actually double tap the enemy. No targeting non-violent NPCs. No one fucking does that. Really. And if they do, who the fuck cares? An NPC is not going to care. It's an NPC. No targeting civilian buildings. Well, fucking hell. I guess no mortar strikes or airstrikes in COD anymore. And use medkits on everyone. No, if it's an enemy player, I'm not going to fucking do that shit. I'm going to kill that enemy player so I can steal his or her shits and win. I'll use it on my teammates, but sure as hell I'm not going to use it on fucking everyone. Some of those rules may well be easier to follow than others depending on the game you're playing. Those rules should not be followed by any fucking one in a game, especially battle royales. Okay, again, Sieg, I'm not going to read your comments, but hello. Hey, Zekrot. Far on our origins, pretty much. Look at some of the dialogue from when you're playing campaign with the characters, even the male characters. All right, they've gone through they've set it up so those characters have gone through shits. All right, it doesn't glorify war, it doesn't romanticize it at fucking all, but it makes it at least bearable enough to play. All right, again, find it fucking insulting that they are at all equating anything that has been done in terms of reality within war zones and rules of engagement to someone basically teabagging a camper or taking out an enemy team in Call of Duty or any other battle royale game. Take targeting downed enemies, for example. If playing squads in Fortnite, enemies drop to all fours as their health slowly depletes, giving teammates a chance to rescue them. According to the Red Cross's rules of war, you will not be allowed to finish them off. Fuck the Red Cross in that regard. I don't play Fortnite, all right? But fuck the Red Cross at that point. I'm taking out every fucking enemy. You'll also not be allowed to leave a teammate who may be holding you back or to perish should they be downed. Well, again, I've committed that crime because I've been unable to go back for that teammate. Sometimes you can't go back for that teammate when you have let's say you're playing Warzone and the gas starts, all right, and your teammate's in the gas and you don't have a gas mask or anything. Guess what? You can't fucking go back for that teammate. Sorry, it sucks. But guess what? Also, Warzone allows you to do, which again in reality you cannot fucking do. Buy your teammate back. So sometimes, yes, you have to abandon them, but that does not mean you completely abandon them necessarily, because you can always buy them back if you get enough money. The rules of war dictate that you heal them even if you think you'll stand a better chance of winning a crown without them. Not picking on NPCs who don't pick on you and avoid damage to civilian buildings should be easier rules to follow. While no mortar strikes or airstrikes or anything like that in Call of Duty anymore, a number of streamers, because even in multiplayer, you have a VTOL, you have precision airstrike, you have mortar strikes. None of that shit, because you're targeting civilian structures. A number of streamers have already teamed up with the Red Cross to show it can be done. Again, might as well say you're either a virgin or a eunuch or both. Although some have been having more trouble strictly abiding by the rules than others. You can check out all of their efforts on the Twitch channel with more to come. I'm not going to bother with that. I saw that shit is just as fucking retarded. The Red Cross has more involvement with what can and can't be shown in video games than you might think. They really should have zero involvement. Innersloth revealed it was forced to change the color of the cross in Among Us's medbay. Oh, I'm guessing it was a red cross. Depicting the Red Cross symbol in a game is against the Geneva Convention, hence why many medkits in games are red with a white cross rather than the other way around. Among Us certainly wasn't the first game to unknowingly land itself in hot water that way. First off, if they wanted, like, if they don't like it because it's close, it's Red Cross, it really should not be. Depicting in a video game should not be against the Geneva Convention, because it's a fucking video game. It's not like it's at all an organization that's patterning itself basically like it is the Red Cross, when it isn't, basically. But anyway, again, it's like no one cares. No, this is so retarded. Can you say I changed one of the things that one of my kill streak perks to sentry guns just for shits and giggles. Right? Just for fucking shits and giggles. Not to mention Price, Ghost, and Soap were portrayed by Shepard, but Mob War. Yeah, I'm saying, hey, Cherish. It's like, did this person at all, this Josh Colston, ever fucking play a Call of Duty game? Now, I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that I've played every single Call of Duty game out there or anything, but this person played even one? Even fucking one? Like, it doesn't not at all glorify or romanticize or at all put war in a positive light. Nothing. The multiplayer, yeah, it's a multiplayer, all right? Again, but like, you have fucking people running around like European football players in Call of Duty now. How is that reflective of real life? Kids to avoid military. I think they're gonna fucking fail. But it's just so stupid. It's just so fucking stupid. Yeah, it's not real. Yeah, you have Shredder in Modern Warfare 2 now, right? Hell, during Vanguard, they had an event where you fucking see Godzilla and King Kong out in the ocean looking at each other. You had Snoop Dogg skins. You had T-800 and T-1000 skins running around. It is not real. Ghostface. Hell, even Jigsaw. Not real. And the fact that this shit is even happening, like I said, it just insults me. Insults me both as a military vet and a gamer, because I'm looking at this shit going, I've actually been to war zones. I know what the rules of engagement are. I've stared into the eyes of a man who has orchestrated multiple deaths, to include deaths of children. Talk about staring into the eyes of the devil. He just sat there in his little cell. Basically, it's like kind of the transitional point from captured on the battlefield to actually being transported to the prison itself. Just sat there and fucking stared at his door, unblinking. All right, I can't even with these assholes. I can't fucking even with these assholes. True, but I mean, I still play it. It's like the multiplayer. It's like still like, you know, like playing it for the most part. Knifey boys. I fucking hate knifey boys in multiplayer. They like knives are so fucking overpowered. So fucking OP. These knife or gun crimes instead. I mean, words are violent. Yeah, people. Yeah, pretty much. But anyway, those are the articles that has like, you know, been in the news. There like, you know, has been some Wizards of the Coast shit, but I'm saving that for next week because next week on Cringe Factory we'll be focusing entirely on Wizards of the Coast and what shit they have done, basically all the shit they've done in the past, leading up to what current shit they are doing now, to include raiding a man's home because he accidentally got the wrong Magic the Gathering cards. So we're going into that next Wednesday with Steve Kenobi as my co-host, pretty much. Sorry, Trey, but, you know, there it is. There it fucking is. There it is. There, yeah. And it shows. It really fucking shows. Oh, like, just if you like, you know, Cringe Factory next week, 8 p.m. 8 p.m. Eastern. With, like I said, with Steve Kenobi, we'll be going into all the shit that Wizards of the Coast has done and have been doing, and will most likely continue doing because, again, the shit they're doing is nothing new. It's just now been like at the forefront because they can't hide it. They can't hide nowadays, given the rise of social media. So yeah, there is that. But anyway, thank you all for hanging out with me. I'm taking a little bit of a break to try taking my dog out real fast and then jump onto some kick for some more Halo Combat Evolved. So about 22 minutes, you know, give or take, depending on when I'm done with taking my dog out and so forth, I will be doing a kick stream for a couple hours or so. So come hang out then. And because tonight, normally I would be streaming tonight, but I decided to stream in the afternoon because I'm planning on seeing Evil Dead Rise tonight for a 7:30 p.m. Eastern showing. So I won't be able to stream either right before then or after that because I'll be getting back about between 9:30 and 10 o'clock at night my time, and I'm not going to feel like streaming at all after that. So there it is. But yeah, so there it is. But thank you all, and this is my Twitch, and this is my Kick. All right, I'm at 95 followers. I'm hoping to hit 100. So if you have not followed me over there, come check that out. So hope you have a good rest of your day or evening, depending on where you are in the world. And I will see you all next time, ladies and gentlemen. And sorry for driving you all to drink with that shit, but pop culture and cringe go hand in hand nowadays. So, peace.
You're still here? It's over. Go home. Go.